Hi, how are you? I'm Roberta Calacino, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. I come to you every Wednesday night with a live stamping class. And, hang on, and that will happen at 7 o'clock, unless I have to change it for some reason, which sometimes happens. And I typically do things like cards. Tonight we're doing 2 cards and something a little bit different, just because I want to show you the versatility of this bundle that I just recently got. And it's really wonderful, and I'm enjoying using it a whole lot. So I want to share that with you. All right, I'll turn the camera down so we can get going as soon as I see that I'm actually here. Oh, I got a lot of blank squares on my screen. That's unusual. Okay, the camera says I'm live. But I'm not seeing me. Okay. Give me a minute. Hopefully less. My internet seems to be fine. Well, I don't know what to say. I can't see myself. And of course, since I couldn't see your comments because I'm not seeing myself, oh, that's last week. I see myself last week. On a couple of occasions when this has happened, and it hasn't happened for a while, I've just gone ahead. The problem is I can't see to see if I'm in frame or, just to make sure everything's okay, but I'll give it a shot. I've refreshed like 3 times now. And it is weird. It's like nothing's changing on the screen. All right, well, let's go ahead and put the camera down. And yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. When the camera says I'm live, I have to believe I'm live. It's not telling me that anything's wrong. I just would like to know that you're seeing what I'm doing. Oh, now it's just, I don't know. It's kind of always something. All right, I'll keep trying to refresh and we'll see what's happening. It looks like I'm recording, so I'm going with that. I may stand up quite a bit because when I stand up, I can see through the camera to see what you're seeing. All right, so hang on. Don't want to make anybody dizzy, and I will turn the camera down and make a couple of adjustments that I usually have to make, and then we'll get going. All right, looks like I have a little bit of a shadow over on the left here. I've got some things here. That's probably why. Okay, so this is me. This is my business, 11 Lakes Stamper. I'm also on YouTube now, and as well in this group, 11 Lakes Stamper Creatives on Facebook. My videos are being transferred after 30 days of being here on Facebook. They are being transferred by me because they're being deleted by Facebook. So they will be on YouTube for your viewing if you want to catch up on any of them or rewatch one because you just missed something or want to get some measurements or whatever it might be. Yeah, nothing is happening with the refreshing thing. So I'm not even sure what to say about that. I wish I had some way of knowing if I'm just standing here talking to no one or not. All right, so let's just dive right in, I hope. So we are playing today with the new bundle. It's not all that new, actually. It's just new to me because I was really debating whether I wanted to get it. So I don't know if you can see this. Just the packages that they come in are so much larger than what we usually have. So the packages that they come in are 10.5 by 10. No, they can't be 10.5 by 10.5 because that's a square, and this is definitely not a square. You can't fool me. What's going on here? Yeah, it does say 10.5. Oh, I'm sorry, I turned it around. 10.5 by 7. Good grief, Roberta. 10.5 by 7. And this is quite the bundle. So the bundle includes all of these, what they call party banners, in a big variety of sizes, from all the way to almost 6 by something, down to this smallest one. And tonight we're going to use several of those sizes. The letters we are not using tonight, but I've been using the letters this week to prepare for a class that I'm teaching tomorrow morning, where the students that I'm working with are going to be collaging these letters and then helping me to create a banner that says welcome for people coming into our art gallery. So it's got all the letters of the alphabet, and it's even got some of the letters, if you're, I don't know what the languages are, so I don't want to say and goof it up, but if you speak other languages that use a different alphabet, I guess is what I should say. They even have the little dies here so that you can do corners and you can do little reinforcers. So that's great. And like I said, I'm really enjoying them. And because the set is called the Party Banner Bundle, and why I hesitated to buy it was, first, I wasn't sure that I really needed it. You know how that goes. And second, I wasn't sure I wanted to spend the money. It's a bit pricey, and of course I cannot remember offhand right now how much it was, but it's pricey. So you'd really want to use it a lot. Now, what I would say, and I'm just going to toss this out there, and I don't know that I'm going to do this or not, but to make banners like this, I know someone who makes banners for birthdays, and sometimes it's just a happy birthday banner and she sells it just like it is, but sometimes she custom makes them. And you don't have to have an Etsy shop to do that. If you live in a reasonably small town or a neighborhood where everybody knows everybody, you just let people know that you're doing this, and if they're having a birthday party, anniversary, wedding, you get it. If they're having any of that, they might want to buy one of these banners from you, in which case the set could pay for itself in maybe, a few purchases. So that's just a thought. I don't know that I will be doing that, but who knows? Maybe I will. So there you go. So that's the set. And like I said, I'm really enjoying that. All right. So far, I am still not appearing here, just for the heck of it, although I don't think there's a difference. I'm going to get out my iPad and open that up too and just see, because there was one time that I could not be seen on the computer, but I could be seen on the iPad. And that doesn't make sense because it's the same internet, right? Okay, so also today I used this embossing folder, which is the Pressed Flowers embossing folder. And the good news was we didn't have to use the whole thing, so almost everything that you see will have the embossed image on it. It's very pretty. And I don't think we used any of the dies from that set. That is from the, oh, good grief, what's it called? The, that set, the Impressions Abloom bundle. And actually, I think I got the suite. So we're going to use that. We are also going to use, hang on. And of course, naturally, my iPad's not really charged up. I'm trying to turn the sound down on it. We're also going to use the birthday celebration stamp set, mainly just for the, I think we're using the Make-A-Wish because I think I decided the happy birthday was going to be too big for the area that I had. I was thinking about possibly using some of the things from Choose Happy, and I thought I was losing my mind, but I'm not, because I thought for sure there'd have to be a birthday on here to go with happy, but there isn't. There's happy anniversary, happy Thanksgiving, oh, there is a birthday right there, tiny. All right, so maybe I will use that then. Good grief. I looked and looked, and I swear I didn't see it. All right, just checking one more time here. No, I don't want to watch an advertisement. All right, so the first card that we're going to make, what I did was I used, and let me see if I can tell you which one it was. So one of the first things I did was I started to wonder how many of these dies, which of them and how many of them would, when cut for a card, fit into our envelope. And so what I found, just kind of going like this, was that almost all of, except for these top 4, the rest of them do. This one here was kind of a close fit, but it did fit in the envelope. So really, if you're using them for cards, you have all of these options other than these ones right here. Is it 3 or 4? 4, okay. So that was good to know. That was the first test that I did. So what I did for this card was that I put the die on my paper, but my paper was folded over. And on the top, where you would normally lay it like right here, and so it would get cut out, I put the top of the die off of the paper so that it cut out everything but the top here, so that it remained folded so that I could use that for a card and make this the card itself. Okay, so that's how that works. And then I wanted a layer on top of that, and then this white one is just a piece of paper like any other card, a liner that you can write on. That fits right in there. Okay, so it doesn't give you quite as much room to write as the typical card, but sometimes that's okay. Some of us don't mind that. And then I had a little extra that I thought I might put on that white part afterwards. So what I wanted to do, I purposely picked something kind of bright and busy for the background here. And then I cut this, I think this was 2 or 3 sizes down because I love this paper and I wanted to leave a good amount of it showing. So, sorry, whenever I stop talking, it's apparently because I can't do 2 things at once, and I'm just trying to refresh again and see that I'm not talking to myself. I'm just not showing up here. But I can't think of anything that would be causing that to happen because I can see my hands, I'm there. It says I'm live, it's showing that it's on. But typically it will say to me, so-and-so is watching, bring them on camera. You've probably heard me say that before, and I always think, I don't know who that person is, but I'm pretty darn sure they don't want to be on camera with me. Yeah, so I'm seeing a couple of weeks ago, but I'm even on my iPad, I'm not seeing tonight. It almost seemed like I saw a blurb of something, and then I did. What's happening here? I'm in the right group. I'm in the right place. No, that was my hand from last week. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to make of this, but like I said, I'm going to keep on going, and then when it's all done, if nothing's there, because I don't have time to redo this tonight, if nothing's there, I will redo it probably on Thursday sometime, maybe Friday. All right, so like I said, I'm just going to keep on going here, hoping for the best. I would tell you that if you have my phone number, give me a text and let me know if you can see me, but I've got this on Do Not Disturb, so I don't know if I'll even get a visual notification. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to have some type of like a sprig of flowers or something here, and I have to almost apologize for this, but that set again came up because it's my favorite. Although there's this one too, that's Spotlight on Nature. They're both good. I think this is the one I used last week. And that is from Spotlight on Nature, I'm very sure. And this one I believe is from a retired set. But just for the sake of using not the same one again, I think I'll use it. So I wanted this background to be a little bit lighter in color so that I could stamp something maybe in black or gray and have it be visible. All right, so I think I will use the black just because this isn't super light. Well, I kind of want to sit down, but I'm afraid to because I'm afraid I won't be able to see what's going on here. I think as long as I stay in this general area, you can see what I'm doing. And it doesn't matter if you can't see the stamp, right? All right, maybe the other thing I'm wondering, I went ahead and stamped, and of course I don't see it now. No, here it is. I went ahead and stamped the Make-A-Wish and cut it with the point-to-point thing. Yes, the point-to-point punch, thank you. But you can see this is a little bit smaller, and I'm pretty sure I showed you this before. I stuck the paper in and I cut it once, and then I stuck it in again and manipulated it. I think I used my Take Your Pick tool, which I found, by the way. Manipulated it so that I had it up here so that I could cut it again to make it smaller. And you can do that with most of your punches that are shapes. You know, not with necessarily other things, but the ones that are shapes. So I've got that there because I kind of wanted to see, I think what's going to happen is this is just going to get covered up, which is fine. The bottom part will get covered up. So I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper. Okay, well, everyone I have grabbed is two-sided, which isn't a good idea. Usually I have some type of oops that I did with the printer where I can use it for scrap paper, but this one was printed on 2 sides, so I really couldn't get away with that. All right. Ooh, looks good. If not, I I inked that up recently, so it's a little on the juicy side. Let's hope it's not messy juicy. Oh no, that's wonderful. Okay. So we'll put that aside and close the ink pad. And now that I know that that came out okay, I can go ahead and glue that on here, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Oh yeah, that's plugged up. I don't know if I shared this with you last week or not because I can't remember when it started, but we've had what they call pool hoppers. So people who live nearby, presumably teenagers, not adults, but you just never know. And they've been going up and down the street and swimming in people's pools, which seems fairly, like harmless. But I have an older pool, and so it's not the kind of pool that you want to kick off the sides or climb over the edge, which is exactly what they did because they didn't even bother opening the gate. It has a kind of a child-proof lock on it, but it's not an actual lock. So it's just something that no small child could accidentally get into. Anyway, they did some damage to the pool, and I'm noticing a very slow leak, but I can't find it, which is really annoying. All right, I think I'll pop that up with some dimensionals. And then they knocked off two of the pieces, and again, if you don't know above ground pools, you might not know what these are, but every so many feet there's what they call a stance, and that's basically what holds the pool up. And on top of that, there's a thing that's basically just for looks, but it also keeps rainwater from getting in between the liner and the wall of the pool. And two of those are missing. And I mean they're missing. Like if they knocked them off and they were on the ground, or they knocked them off and they were in the pool, I could deal with that. But that's not what happened. They knocked them off and then they probably threw them in the creek. I don't know. And of course, this time of year, you can't see anything because of all of the things growing that are in the way. So there you go. Very simple. I think it's crooked, but it's simple. I'm going to leave it for now. All right. And then with this one, what you can do is you can put a happy birthday on the inside. The Make-A-Wish really could work for graduation, though. It could work for a lot of things. So you might also choose to just leave it blank. And then the person could put whatever they want inside. I'm just going to take that little strip, which is probably 1/8 of an inch, maybe. And that just gives you a little something on the inside to keep it from being totally plain. I do love this paper. I'm probably going to find myself ordering more because I know, and it's just like every paper pack. There's a few in there that, I like them, but I don't love them. And then there's a few that I love. So I'm almost used those up, and then I have to use the other ones because even if I don't love them, somebody else will, So I need to just make a card, and I don't know how many people really look at the paper that you put on their card. I think they're taking in the colors and the fact that you handmade them a card, and unless you use something just terribly ugly, I don't think anybody would care. So that is another way to make a card using just DSP as the base of the card. But having this on the cover, which is cardstock, and having this here just gives it a little bit more stability and makes it stronger, and it's just fine as far as I can see. And it absolutely will fit into an envelope with a little room to spare, to be honest, because it's a smaller one. So no problem there. Okay, the next card. Hang on, I'm trying to grab it. Now my computer just signed me out. Oh, good grief. All right, well, maybe if I sign myself back in real quick, maybe something good will happen. All right, so the next card is the one that I use, that embossing folder that I mentioned, and it's going to go in landscape mode, even though it is scored. That's the word. Good grief. Scored on that side. It's going to go in landscape mode. So I'm going to glue that down. In the meantime, I'm just going to lean over and see if I can sign myself in. Because if you sign out, does it keep... Well, the phone keeps recording, right? Okay. And let's see if I'm there yet. I feel like there's just some really dumb thing that I'm missing that I forgot to do, some step. but I don't really know what that would be. Unless the internet wasn't working on my computer for some reason, but it says it is. It says it's connected and strong. Oh well, okay. So I'm going to put this on. Make sure your card's facing the right way, because believe me, I've done that. Because this is embossed, I'll definitely put a little bit more glue than I normally would, but not so much that it's going to come oozing out the sides. This is pretty sticky glue, and so you don't want it to come oozing out the sides because it might continue to be sticky even after it dried. All right, I'll try to center this, excuse me, the best I can. There's a little bit of roughness on the bottom there, and that will happen when you cut something that is embossed. And it's easy to just clean it off with your snips. Okay, so there we go. And then I used the new In Color 6x6 paper. So we have these paper packs, and they come in each of the In Colors. So right now we're on the 25-27 In Color is new, but we still have the 24-26 In Color, which will retire when the new catalog comes out. And these are the newest In Colors, and all of the colors, including the brights and the regals and so on, have a pack of this paper. There'll be 4 patterns in each of the 5 colors. And in the color families, there are 10 colors, so I think you get fewer sheets, fewer duplicate sheets. Anyway, so this is the cloud cover, which is our new kind of bluish gray. It's really, really pretty. And this is going to sort of be a banner on its own. And I was really, really looking for the black twine that comes in the, whatever it's called, the neutral something or other pack, and I couldn't find it. If it retired, I don't remember that it retired, but maybe that's why I can't find it, because I tend to put retired things away. So I don't know what became of it, but anyway, I do have out here the, I did have out here, let's see what I did with it. Good grief. The linen thread. I had a package of 3 sitting like right here. I did. Not just 1, but 3 rolls sitting right here. I cannot even tell you how much I hate when this happens, because it's usually right under my nose, unless I thought I needed it someplace else. I also got some bling out so that I wouldn't forget to put some bling on something. Anyway, anything. I'm looking to see if I put it in my basket here next to me. Maybe I did. But no, I don't see it. Isn't that bizarre? Well, I need some kind of twine or string or something, because this is supposed to look like a banner. So I have something down here that's what it is it's kite string. So that's what we're going to use, is kite string, because that's what I have. What can I tell you? These things happen. No matter. Except that I really kind of need the other one for one of the other, I tell you. Yeah, well, no matter. Okay, so my thought here was that I could put, if I had any of the ephemera, the stuff that you don't have to stamp that was the right size, I would use that. But I don't have any of the ephemera, any more left. I have used some, so I don't have any more left. So I just went into my thing of die cuts that I have left over from different cards. And this is from the Impressions of Bloom set, from cards that I made, and I just, kind of made more than I needed. I'm going to need my Take Your Pick tool for this for sure. Might even need my tweezers, but we'll see how it goes. So first, let's see what we can do here. I want to make sure that I've got this kind of going in the right direction. Now you could have this, this all depends on your taste. You could have this so that it went straight across. And by the way, it was supposed to wrap around under here, but you know, I glued that right down. So remember that when you do this, if you do this, that it should go around, it should wrap around, but it's okay. I have another thought too, based on a card that I saw that used this that was different from this one, but did something a little bit different, and maybe I can pull that off. You could also do it, you know, kind of like a banner would typically be like this a little bit. All right, but if I'm going to try to do what I think I'm going to try to do, I'm going to put it on straight, and I'm going to try. And I use the word try because I don't know if it'll be successful, because when it comes to me tying bows in public, it usually just doesn't go in my favor, but we'll see. Especially since I'm trying to keep it small. Sometimes I do the rabbit ear things, and sometimes that works, but not always, so I'm going to try something. We'll see. Because that's my idea. My idea is to have a bow on each end of the card holding it up. I think it's going to work if I can get the other side done. But then the problem is, so if that's like that, let's say, okay, I definitely have enough to make another bow, but I'm not exactly sure exactly where it should be. Okay. Well, if there's actually anybody watching, thank you for watching. And my apologies for not being able to say anything, but thank you to whoever you are. Again, maybe once we get off, I'll figure out what I did and that it's no big deal. And maybe when we get off, I'll figure out that I just really messed it up and I'm going to have to redo the whole thing, which means I have to prep all the cards again because I already made them. I'm going to make that one a little bit closer in. I think that'll be better. We'll see. The other thing is if it records on my phone, yeah, that's interesting. Then I could just transfer the video, possibly. And, of course, now that one's too far over the other way. I could just make bows and glue them on the end and pretend that they're where they're supposed to be, or that I made them this way. And if this one doesn't take hold, I just might do that. I thought maybe I could glue it down first, but it's going to be hard to tie a bow. That's not attached, or when it's attached to something. And the whole idea was that today was supposed to be a little bit shorter, so I could do some more preparations for my class tomorrow. Okay, that looks halfway decent. It really does. So let's take a look at these, and maybe I can see, you can see in the camera. Let me set that aside for a second because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So my thought was to have one of these here with some leaves sticking out, and these leaves are kind of too big for that, so I'll probably just cut them down. These are die cut leaves though, and you can see that the die actually cuts into them, so I was a little bit nervous that if I tried to cut them down to make them shorter, they might kind of fall apart, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to try. Yeah, they're opening up in the center. Excuse me, but that'll still work, I think. So we're just going to put a dot of glue on the back of these, and these also, they're so intricate. These also have cuts. Like those aren't just embossed, they're actually cuts that go through. I think it just adds more texture. I don't think it has an actual purpose. I think my glue is getting gobby. And my computer logged me off again. So it's logging me off because it has no reason to keep running because there's nothing going on, which makes sense. I don't know. I just don't know. All right, so I'm just going to have one coming out of there. And I'm thinking that's going to go there. I'm not going to actually glue it down, although there's a little wet glue on the back there. And then I thought I would do the same thing with the one on the other end, and this time have the leaf going in the other direction, just because I'm a little OCD that way. Okay, it says Nancy Fisher is watching, bring her on camera. Now, I haven't been watching that the whole time. Oh, I wanted this one on the other side. So, Nancy, if you're watching, what's going on here is that I cannot see myself or anything on my computer. So I am actually watching through... I'm glad I didn't glue that on because it was upside down. Look at, no, it wasn't upside down. I lied. That's the side I wanted, the striped side. Never mind. Okay, and then my thought was that for the center one, to some degree, because I didn't have more of those, I would put like a little cluster of these little tiny baby ones on here. And I don't know if I'll use them all, but I really have to flip them over, and then I can pick them up with my Take Your Pick tool and get some glue on the bottom. So this is a little fiddly, I'll admit, a little fiddly, but I don't think it's awful. I really don't. And then these are really going to have to get cut down so that I can hide them, unless I use pieces of those. Ooh, that might work. Look at that. They look little. Okay. I love it when I have an idea that makes sense. And only I hate it when I drop things. Oh, as long as this is here so you can see it, I want to show you something. So when I started using this earlier today, the putty was completely flat, so it really needed to be brought up. And I'm an impatient person by nature, so I turned it once, just like a quarter of a turn, and nothing happened right away. So I turned it again, and then I got kind of going, and I turned it again, and the next thing I knew, I had like a tube of toothpaste coming out, okay? So if you have one of these Take Your Pick tools, and your putty end gets dried out, or you need to pick it off because it's dirty or whatever, and you want to turn this, which is what makes it come up, just turn it a quarter turn and count to 10 or something. Because it will keep coming up after you turn it. And if you turn it 3 times, you're just going to have a hot mess. Okay, learn from my mistakes. This is what I always say. Only it's not sticking. Good grief. I tend to not want to press down too hard on it, but I think I didn't press down hard enough. I don't know. It's not doing its job today, that's all I can tell you. All right, so we're just going to put that down. And I'm looking for my tweezers because maybe they're the tool I need today. And then I'm going to pick up one of these. Now, these are not something that Stampin' Up! Sells, although if you buy the embossing, gosh, what do they call it? It comes with a tray, and it comes with an embossing buddy and something else. If you buy that, it also comes with these reverse tweezers. So then you don't have to buy them, and you get that kit. But if you don't want that kit, or you don't do any of that kind of dry embossing, then I found a pack of 3 on Amazon at a very good price. And it's a good idea to have 3 because I'm constantly misplacing them, or if I take them with me to some type of event, then they're in a bag someplace and I don't remember where they are for a couple of days or weeks or months. You know how that is, right? Please tell me you know how that is. All right, so anyway, Nancy, I do appreciate that you're here, and if anybody else came on before I looked, I appreciate you too. I promise, I do. All right. I don't know. Do I want more? I feel like I need something else. Maybe another. I don't know. Just to kind of balance it out a little bit, and then maybe let me put that down for a second. And let me snip myself another piece of tiny leaf here. This works out really perfectly. I never thought about that. It was just a happy accident. Well, except, a happy accident except, let me see if I can get that back together. Yep, we're going to get rid of that piece. I'm not too happy with that. Let's take a tip instead. Okay. And then while that glue on there is still a little wet, I'll stick that down, or try to. Only it's upside down. There really is a right and wrong side to things that have been die cut and embossed. It's on some pieces it's really not obvious and no one would notice it, but on some pieces it is more obvious. So you just want to watch for that. Okay, and then this one we'll put over here going this way. I don't mind if it's not symmetrical, I just wanted a little bit more. Okay, so there we go with that. And now I can put these on, and I think what I'm going to do is get some glue dots, and I'm going to put one end of one bow, or one bow on the end of the string, and I kind of take my fingernail and kind of turn that into a little log of glue instead of leaving it flat, because if you leave it flat, it's just much more obvious. And I'm going to stick that there. And I can take my Take Your Pick tool and tuck any of it under that is too obvious. Let's see. Now all of a sudden this looks like it's not long enough, but we're going to make it long enough because that's just all there is to it. We're going to make it work. So I'm just doing another little log of glue dot there, and I'll have to trim that one up a bit so that the tails are about the same length, and then I'll put that there, and then I have to glue those on, don't I? I haven't done that yet. Now with these, the glue will seep through because there are those die cut holes. So don't worry about that, but just know that it might happen. Okay, and then that one's glued down because that's how I made it, by gluing it down. I also wanted to thank you guys because several people sent me private messages expressing concern about the fact that my voice seems to be going a lot and that I have to clear my throat a lot. And I'm sure, if nothing else, I'm sure it's annoying to you because it's annoying to me. And I had my annual physical with the doctor who said there's nothing wrong that he can tell. He can send me to an ENT if I'd like to do that, and I might, just to rule anything out. But he said basically everything's okay, and it probably is what I think it is, which is that I don't hydrate enough. So like right now I've got this huge cup of water sitting like, 7 inches in front of me, and I haven't taken one sip yet. And I don't think I took one sip on it the whole time that I was working this morning either. So that's the problem right there. Maybe some dimensionals I think might be good for this, and not really attach them to the string at all, but just attach them above it and make it look like it's hanging from the string. If that ends up looking weird, where'd you go? If that ends up looking weird, I'll change it, but I think it'll be okay. Oh yeah. All right, so I've got the first one on, and then I want to get this one on and then kind of cram this one in the middle. That's what's going to happen there. So again, this is that cloud cover color, the one where there was something wrong with the ink pad, so they didn't sell it. Demonstrators were allowed to get one, but it wasn't a privilege. We paid full price for it, and we're told it just might not work. But a lot of people bought it anyway, and so did I. And I played around with it a little bit today, and it was okay, but it definitely wasn't stamping great. And apparently there's some type of, they believe, a chemical reaction happening between the cloud cover ink, however that's formulated, and what makes it different from the other inks, I don't know, and the foam in the foam pads. So the solution was, I'll show you in a minute what the solution was. So there we go. And I really do like that. And then you could decide at this point whether you wanted to put no sentiment on the front because it's just kind of pretty the way it is, or you could put, I think I would find like a long cursive type sentiment here, the kind that you could sort of fussy cut out and just have a strip, or you could decide to just put your sentiment on the inside. And I completely forgot to get a card liner for here, but that's okay. You know, you know what? I got these out and then I didn't use them. So I think since I used the strawberry slush, I'm very sure that these are supposed to be strawberry slush. So let's get a couple of those on here. I'm not Beth Sapatis. Hey, how are you? I can't even tell you how much I miss you. And I want you to know that there are several wrapped Christmas presents at my house that are like just sitting here waiting for you. From Mara, from me. I don't even remember what they are. Every day I look at them and think, I should really just open those and find out what the heck is in there. But I haven't done it yet. So I hope that you and Mr. Miyagi are doing well. Mr. Miyagi is Beth's cat. Hope you don't mind me telling all your secrets to the world, Beth. Sorry. Beth is a friend of my daughter's, and I feel like she kind of grew up along with Mara. You can tell I'm looking for something again, right? I'm looking for my Take Your Pick tool. I put it down. Here it is. Okay. And I'm going to use some of these. I don't think you've ever joined me before, Beth. I really appreciate it. And Jerry, hello, how are you? Jerry's from Florida. She's a Barcelona neighbor. I don't know, up top or down the bottom? I think up top. So maybe one there. and one there. You know, Jerry, I can do a card class while I'm down there. We did that Valentine's thing one year, and that was fun. All right, so I think that's all the bling. I know you're supposed to do threes, but I like it being off to the side, so I'm not sure. Maybe I'll add something else later. And then a sentiment, or I'm really learning when I was at a craft fair this weekend in Geneva. If you've never been to the Rose Hill Mansion, it's an old Gothic-style mansion in Geneva. And it's beautiful, and they give tours there. They have a lovely gift shop, and this was their family day, family fun day, and they had lots of activities for kids and live music and everything, and I had a table there and was selling my wares, and a lot of people commented that I really like the card. I wish it said something else, and that happens a lot. So you know, sometimes I bring extra stamps and sentence strips with me so that I can very gently remove the one that says happy anniversary and change it out for one that says happy birthday, but I hadn't done that. I still did well. I sold 2 of my journals and I sold some cards. But it would be nice to, sometimes people like a card with nothing and they just want to write what they want to write. So I'll have to remember to do that and have more blank cards. All right, so that is card number 2. Just for the record, I've already misplaced card number 1. No, I found it. Okay. And then the final thing that I wanted to do tonight was just a way of showing you what, you know, you might think that this card is really for, and that is for making a banner. So this here is using, and that's that fun paper from the, what is it, the, you know, the one about sipping, something about sipping drinks, and it's got all the pretty pictures of the cocktails and whatnot. And so this is kind of like all the things that you might possibly put in a cocktail. Really makes me think of fun summer drinks. I don't really drink much anymore, but so that's the largest one. And the largest one, height-wise, if you include the points, which I guess you would have to, is 7 inches. And then in this direction, it is like 5 1/4, almost no, 5 1/2. All right, so 7 by 5 1/2. So that's pretty big, and no, it won't fit in an envelope. This is really meant to be a banner that you hang up. So rather than making the whole banner, which is, you know, a little time consuming, I just thought I'd show you that I layered it. And again, I made the next layer smaller, quite a bit smaller, because this paper is so pretty and so fun. I don't want to cover it up. But you could like go down and have like 3 or 4 different levels here and have different colors of paper and just maybe end with the white. All right, so I decided to go with an H because it's probably going to be a happy something banner, whether it's happy birthday, happy whatever. And for some reason, the white or the yellow just looked really stark against the white. So I went and I cut another H out of the black so that we could do kind of like a shadow thing. And I don't know, you'd have to tell me. I won't be able to see you telling me, but you'll have to let me know at some point if you think that this is good, if you like it with the black or you would like it just plain. I don't know. And then because they had those nice little hole punchy things, the reinforcers, you can cut here. And if you have one of those things, those grommet, I forget what they call, but it's like a little thing. My mother had one that put snaps on, you know, so you could put grommets up here so that it would never tear, or just use good old-fashioned reinforcers like we used on our loose leaf paper, but maybe put them on the back so you wouldn't see them. There's lots of things you could do. And if you were going to make a happy birthday banner that you thought you might use over and over again, you could laminate this. And I know not everybody has a laminating machine, but Staples and probably Home Depot and Office Max and those places, they do it too. And I was surprised that Staples, what do you call it? I just said it. That their laminating was really not terribly expensive. So you could have the thing laminated and then it would like last forever and it would be pretty permanent. And then because I was going through my little bowl of goodies, I just thought, well, you know, it would be fun to maybe stick a little something, at least if not on everyone, on the H and happy and the Y and whatever it is, birthday, anniversary, whatever, and just stick a little something like that on there just to kind of dress it up a little bit. So I'll probably glue that together at some point. If you do have any feedback about black or no black, leave it in the comments, and then maybe I'll make my decision based on what you guys say. All right, because I'm always open to suggestions. So here is the first card. No, that's the envelope. Here's the first card that we made. And here is the second card that we made that we decided, I decided not to put a sentiment on it, at least not for now, okay? And then, of course, there's the banner. And I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of that set, so I'm already feeling much better about the money I spent. I'll post the information on this probably tomorrow if I get the time. If not, tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah, if not Friday. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Beth, we have to get together, okay? You have to come see us. And Jerry, I'll see you in January. So take care. And again, thanks for watching. Have a great night.